Hello and welcome to Russ Plays Games. My name is Russ, and as you can see, I am sitting in front of my movie corner. Have my Star Wars Darth Vader's TIE Fighter t-shirt on, my Star Wars Rogue One movie right next to me, or Rogue One, a Star Wars story, if that's what you prefer. And today I'm doing another episode of Thrift Store Finds. And as you can see, because I'm sitting in front of my movie wall, I am here in Washington State. My girlfriend came and visited me for my birthday and Valentine's Day. So we went out and visited a whole bunch of different places. I even picked up, it was kind of cool, Final Fantasy 13 for the PlayStation 3, and I picked up the guide for it so I can actually play through the game and actually try to beat it this time. So I'm going to see if I can do that. Hang on just 1 second. Okay. Get up there. Okay. Sorry about that. So, the first thing on the menu today is this cool little fire station playset. Not sure what company. It looks like it's a Walmart product, actually, from 2022. So this is a Walmart-inspired fire station. Not sure exactly what the scale is of this bad boy. It's pretty big considering the size of the doors on the front. But that's not unusual for something like, a big fire station, because you probably have big figures that you put in here. Judging by the size of the windows, though, I'm not so sure how big they truly are. One of the reasons why my girlfriend noticed this was because of the little diamond floors right up in here, these little gratings and stuff. She thought this might look good as sort of a futuristic building for like miniatures, or maybe some kind of futuristic setting of Dungeons and Dragons, or maybe even a more modern setting of things. We thought we could paint it and kind of like repaint the little logo here, and then we could put a new little thing here on the front. So that was kind of one of those things. What's really neat is these doors open, and you can see this little blue thing in the back. This is actually an elevator. So like, if for instance I put it up here like this, you can kind of see where it actually like holds in place, because there's like a little track with little teeth on the inside that hold it in place as it moves up and down. So like, so you could put a miniature, conceivably, inside of that little thing and bring him up. Now, I'm not sure exactly what this thing, this little yellow thing was for. I'm assuming it probably held something, or there might be a reason for it being there. Another thing that I noticed as I was kind of giving this sucker a courtesy, kind of an overlook, is that there's a little tiny platform right here in front of this first window that you could conceivably set a miniature on, because the base is almost 1 inch, maybe a little bit less, but you could fit like a miniature that's like 25 or 28 millimeter base on there. There's also these little fire things that only go up a certain amount and then come back down. I'm pretty sure I can probably pull these out some way or another. But anyway, I'm going to pull those out, and then the miniatures should be able to essentially just kind of sit right behind them and be able to fire out of the thing. So yeah, we saw this and we thought it was kind of cool. There's even like a little helipad on the top there. This was $3 at a local thrift store here in town, and it was pretty darn cool. So we weren't sure if we were going to be able to, we weren't sure what we wanted to do with it just yet. But there it is. That one was kind of interesting. I was actually super excited to actually pick that one up for $3. Now, this was, I think, $20 at a local or no, it was $15. Sorry, it was $15. Somebody picked it up for $13, and they were selling it. Maybe it was 20. But anyway, they were selling it at a local uh, antique mall that's in my city. This is Star Wars: The Electronic Galactic Battle game from Tiger Electronics. Yes, that Tiger Electronics. This game was essentially created back in 1997, so it was around the time that the special editions of the Star Wars movie came out. Star Wars was kind of hitting its peak popularity back then. This was before Episode 1 came out, so there wasn't really any of the hype surrounding Episode 1 yet. But the original trilogy had picked up probably in about 93 or 94, and by 97 or 98, Star Wars had hit its peak. The customizable card game was going super strong at that point. There were many different, like, Tiger Electronic video games. The R-Zone had come out at that time, so they had a couple of the R-Zone games on there. And they had, let me see, I think, let me scoot BB-8 over. Let me bring this guy. Let me just see here. Yep, 97. So this is the Tiger R-Zone XPG, or Extreme Pocket Game. This had the unit, which was a self-contained unit, and then it had a little pull-out little drawer to it that you'd pull out, and it would look, and you would see what the little adventure was there. You had like a little you can kind of see there that you have like a little thing, and this was the actual unit itself. And then there's a little screen in the back that actually pops out, and you can kind of tilt it a little bit, and then you play the game on the front. And and then you can buy certain games, like for instance, Millennium Falcon Challenge, which came out and was a game where you were flying the Millennium Falcon. It's kind of hard to see the screenshot, but you can kind of see it there. You're flying the Millennium Falcon essentially, and you destroy a bunch of TIE fighters and destroy some different things. I actually have, funnily enough, I actually have a version of Millennium Falcon Challenge that's an actual Millennium Falcon that folds out and plays as a game. So anyway, so yeah, Tiger had acquired the license to make a bunch of these games, and essentially what this is Battleship, Electronic Battleship. The difference is, this is the Rebel side, because it looks like the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and this is the TIE Fighter side. It's the Empire side, because it looks like the cockpit of a TIE Fighter, okay? And essentially, what you do when you play the game, you have little blue pegs for misses. You have the little red pegs for hits. Okay. And then this is the base itself. And the side with the little green button here says on off. That's the side that you would play, and you can kind of see that there's the Rebel symbol, and then up at the top on the other side is the Imperial symbol up here, and then down here you have the Rebel symbol over here. And so this just kind of snaps on like thus, okay? And essentially what you do is is you turn it on, and then you can pre-program your different maneuvers, and I'll show you the instruction manual here in a minute. And then when you want to shoot, you press the fire button in the middle, and then you type in where you're going to shoot. And so it's hex grid based, but it's basically like this. So if I wanted to shoot at hex 1, 1, then I would hit 1, 1 on this, right? Okay, 1, 1, because it's 1 through 10. Okay, so I'd hit 1, 1. And it would shoot at that spot, which is right here on the Empire side, okay, if I was playing the Rebels. If I was playing the Imperials and I wanted to shoot something else, I might select 01, 06, or 05 or something like that, and then it would shoot at that one particular hex on that thing, okay? It's quite ingenious. Now, what's really crazy is that these are the bases, and I'll show you what these bases actually look like. They're pretty ingenious. Essentially, what these do is you have endpoint pegs that go, it's kind of hard to see, but you have endpoint pegs that essentially snap in anywhere on a hex, and then they maneuver around. Drop these down here really quick. And then you can essentially maneuver this puppy around however you want, as long as it's, as long as it's on a side of a hex grid that you can conceivably maneuver it around. Okay? So you just have to decide where you want to put it, and then you put it in there, and then you can put your little pegs in the little holes in the top. You can kind of see the little holes there. They're kind of hard to see because it's clear plastic, but you can kind of see the little holes there. Okay, you can kind of catch a glimpse of them as they move around. But essentially, what the holes are is where you put the pegs in. Okay, and then the little post coming out the top, okay, will fit. Grab. Oh, come on now. You have a bunch of different ships. So you have things like a TIE fighter, an X-wing, an A-wing, and you also have, let me see, where are you? Ah, yes, here you are. I'll put it on there so you can see. A Star Destroyer. So the Star Destroyer is your, like, 5. This is the 4, but anyway, it's a way that you can actually, like, maneuver it around so that you can actually fit the pegs in to the thing. So you can conceivably have this sucker sitting sideways, even though, like, the thing's going this way. It doesn't matter, just as long as you can put the right thing in there and use it that way. In fact, I would go, yeah, here's a Victory. So this is the normal Star Destroyer, and then this is a Victory class Star Destroyer. So you can see that they're a little bit smaller. The Victories were always a little bit smaller. And so essentially this is your aircraft carrier, and this is your battleship. Okay. And then you have normal TIE fighters. You have a TIE bomber, which is essentially your submarine, I think. And then you have the TIE interceptors, which are essentially the same thing. So you have a bunch of, like, you have 2, which are like your TIE fighters and your A-wings. Then you have 3s, which are your X-wings, Y-wings, TIE interceptors, and TIE bombers. And then you have a Rebel transport, which is your 4, and then a Victory class Star Destroyer, which is your 4, which is essentially your battleship. And then your aircraft carrier is your Mon Calamari cruiser, and the Super Star Destroyer, or the Star Destroyer. Which I would have loved to have seen a normal Star Destroyer and then like a Super Star Destroyer be your aircraft carrier. But apparently they didn't really think about that. So, yeah, no, it is what it is. Okay. And so this is the thing. And what was really cool about this, I mean, for $20, I mean, this was a really good deal. Because it had essentially... drop those in there. Drop those in there. It even came with the rules. And what was really neat about this was it kind of told you like how to use the different like buttons on the control panels and all that kind of stuff. And there's a really neat idea on this, which is it gives you a choice for you press 1, 2, or 3 to select the type of game. Game 1 is Lieutenant, which is the easiest one. It says take turns one at a time. Commander is an intermediate level. They get 1 turn for each ship. Then play passes to the opponent. So if you have 5 ships, you get 5 turns. So essentially you get 5 shots. So each ship can shoot at a different hex, or you can shoot at 5 hexes in a line if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. And then game 3 is Admiral, which is the expert level, which is it has all the features of game 2, but you can actually launch new ships in the middle of the game. They also have 1-player game and 2-player game. 1-player game uses just the Rebel side, even if you're playing with Imperial ships. And I'll explain how that works here in a second. But then the 2-player game, of course, 1 person is the Rebels, 1 person is the Imperials. Okay. And then you have the fleet, which is if you want to be the Rebel fleet, you press 1. If you want to play the Imperial, you press 2. Your opponent automatically play the other side. In a 1-player game, you can play as the Empire, but you will still sit on the Rebel Alliance side of the board. Then you have 2 types of fleet deployment. You have standard fleet deployment, which I'll get to in a second. You choose a preset, essentially, and then it shows you exactly where to set up your ships. And then the computer just stores that location so it knows when you select in what you want, it knows exactly where to do it. The other thing is a manual one, and the manual fleet location is essentially you get to choose where to place your ships, and you have to program that into the board. So if you wanted to put like a 2 and you wanted to have it here at like say 01 and 0101 and 0202, okay, on the board, then it would tell you, it would ask you what is first coordinate. So you would say 0101. Then it would say what is next coordinate, 0202. Then it would store that fleet location, it would store that ship location for you. So if you put in a 5, and let's say you put in the 5 from, let's say, 0310 up to, you go all the way up to like 0306, then you would hit 0310 and then 0306. And that would give you where your ship would lie. Okay? And so it would literally, the computer stores that information. And so if somebody typed in 0307, then it would hit. It would play a laser sound effect from the movie. So they programmed in sound effects from the films, kind of like they did in their little games, in their little electronic games, where they would put in certain types of things. They actually programmed in some different things. So like if I turn this on, because there is batteries in here and they still work.
Ready, Rebel Commander. Ready, Imperial Commander. May the Force be with you.
So there you go.
Select game.
So now it asking me to select the game. So if I were to press 01 on the Rebel side, it would give me um,
Select game.
the lieutenant game. Okay. So if I press 1,
Game 1.
there you go.
Select players. Players. 1. Commander. Select fleet.
And then if I wanted to play Imperials, I could just hit.
Imperial.
There you go.
Imperial. Commander. Select.
So I'll turn it off. But anyway, so that's essentially what you do. And then what it would do then is it would ask me to select the fleet location. And I can either do 1, which is, I believe, standard deployment, or I do 2, which is manual deployment. Anyway, so then what it does is it passes back and forth. Just like in regular Battleship, okay, it will choose a person to go first. So the computer will randomly select one of the players to go first, okay? So if I'm like, say, the Imperials, okay, if I played a 2-player game and I'm the Imperials, and let's say, my opponent happened to be the Rebels, then I would choose the Imperial side, and then after it did that, it would ask me to choose my fleet deployment method, blah, 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 okay? And then I could choose like one of the standard deployment options, or I could do whatever I wanted to do, okay? And so essentially what is really cool is that in the back of this book, this amount of the book, okay, literally starting on page 12 and ending on page 28, okay, you have essentially that many pages, about 16 pages worth of deployments, because there is 100 deployments from 0101 to 1010, okay? Because there's 100 button combinations on here, because there's 100 button combinations on the hex grid, okay? So they came up with every conceivable fleet deployment, 100 different fleet deployments they could come up with. So what a person would do is, like, let's say I'm playing the Rebels, okay, and I choose standard fleet deployment, okay? I flip through the book and I choose one. Let's say I choose 4-8, okay, which is at the top of this page, okay? It's that one right there. What I would do then is I would hit 04, 08, okay? And then I would set up my ships to be in that configuration, okay? And then I would set up my little ships on each of the pegs, okay? Then I would hand the book over to the Imperial player, and the Imperial player would then flip through the thing, and they would choose one. And let's say they chose 8-9, so then they would hit 0809, and that's essentially that one right there. And then what they would do is they would set up their ships in that order, and then the computer chooses who goes first, okay? And I believe it says, after you finish the setup process, you will hear an alarm sound. Now the computer decides which player goes first. If the Rebel Alliance goes first, you will hear Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. If the Galactic Empire goes first, you will hear Grand Moff Tarkin. Grand Moff Tarkin. Now, the battle begins. The object of the game is to destroy all your opponent's ships and claim control of the galaxy. In order to destroy a ship, you must find and destroy each location on that ship. If you eliminate all of your opponent's ships before he destroys all of yours, you win the game. And it says, to win the game, you must destroy all of your opponent's ships before he destroys yours. When the game is over, you will hear 3 loud explosions, signaling the defeat of the losing fleet, followed by a short victory sequence played for the benefit of the winner. And remember, the fate of the galaxy is in your hands. And what's really cool is that if you actually hit certain Yeah. If you can hit your opponent's ships 2 turns in a row without missing, you will be rewarded with additional sound effects from the movie. Try not to miss and see how many sounds you can discover. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they actually do that. Anyway, I was like, wow, um, for for having something that is, this old and is, really cool, to see the, to see this thing done correctly like this. It's really neat. And what's really cool is like, it's Endor. That's the second Death Star. Um, and and then on the Rebels side, they have, I believe it's still Endor, but it's just kind of a different like version of Endor. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to look at. So it's just kind of like, it's just the it's just Endor from that particular spot. I actually had to pick it up and like move it around because somebody had put the one for the Imperial side upside down. There's actually like where you can kind of see that there's these little tabs, and that's for these little tabs up on top of this thing here go in there, and then this puppy just kind of pops down into place. Okay. And so essentially they had put those down in there, and yeah, it didn't work. And what's really cool is that you have little lights that light up these little things on either side that show you when you want to deploy a ship. So if you're playing number 3, which is the Admiral difficulty, you essentially get you can redeploy ships if you have, or you can deploy new ships if you have more energy. So if you destroy a person's TIE fighter, okay, then they have 2 energy to spend. So the next turn they can deploy a new ship by pressing a certain button, and I believe it's the launch button that's on there. You can hit launch, and then it will ask you, where do you want to put your new ship? How much energy do you want to spend? So you click 2, 3, 4, or 5 energy, and if you have enough energy, you can deploy a new ship out to the battlefield. So it's like a really cool feature of the game to kind of be able to play it. So I thought that was kind of cool. I can't wait to actually get this down onto the table and do it. Also, quick side note, because I will be doing an unboxing of this when I finally get it. I ordered from WizKids the brand new Dungeons and Dragons Onslaught core set. They have a bundle right now on their website. They haven't sold out of it yet, so it's probably still there as of filming this right now. This is February 18th as of filming this, so hopefully I'll be able to get this out here in the next few days. So I will post up a link down below to it to kind of show you what the bundle is. It is essentially the core set. It is the Cell Swords 1 expansion pack. It is 2 factions, 2 extra factions. There's I am trying to remember what they are, and my thing's all the way over there, so I can't. Might still have it up here. Hopefully it won't. It's going to redo. Oh, okay, good. Okay, so it has the core set, the Cell Swords 1 expansion, Many Arrows faction, the Red Wizards faction pack, and the Death Knight promo card pack. Now, this is about a $300 expand. There's like a $300 deal. Like if you were to buy it all separately, it's $300. To purchase it on WizKids right now, it's $150. The core set alone on Wizards, if you look up the core set on WizKids, not Wizards, on WizKids, because this is WizKids who did this, okay, because they created the Nozzler's Marvelous Miniatures and some various things like that. If you wanted to buy all of these separate, it would cost you, and I'm not joking about this, if you bought all of that separate, it's $300. The core set alone is $140. So, while you might be able to find some of this stuff a little bit cheaper elsewhere, I can just tell you that it's not going to be that, okay? So, I'm looking forward to being able to share that with you. So, keep an eye out for that video because it'll be coming soon. I also will have, pretty soon, I have a Kickstarter being fulfilled for a game called The Last Command. It is a deck building, essentially, they took, if you remember in Star Wars Episode 3, when the Trade Federation ship and the Republic ship came and they did like a broadside combat, that's essentially what you're doing. You have two ships. It's not Star Wars. It's just called The Last Command. You have a ship and you have to like deck build for various components of your ship. And so you play certain cards on your turn to be able to attack your opponent, to be able to bolster your own defenses, to be able to play crew cards down, to be able to play repairs, to try to heal damage, to be able to play things for your engines, to try to outmaneuver your opponent so that they can't hit certain vital systems. It's a very tactical deck building game, and I'm really excited to get my hands on it. That one is coming in March, because this is like just past mid-February as of filming this. So that's coming. And then also, Darkest Doom is coming. I am super excited about this game. It is a anthropomorphic animal, sort of like set in like a medieval past alternate Europe called Batel, or Batel, I think is what they call it. It's a region with a big map. It's a big hex map, and it's got a big centerpiece of a rock, and on that rock is a little priestess who is being consumed by something called the Shadow. There is an eclipse that is lasting 9 days. You have 9 turns to play this game, and you have 4 different victory conditions, okay? And you have to either beat the priestess, free the original guy, gain enough things, or join the darkness. I think your 4 victory conditions. But anyway, and so what you do is you move around and you draw little quest cards and you put up little things. And you have to go fulfill certain things to get the quests done, and you have to do all this different stuff. So super excited to go see that. I cannot wait to do it. And also, I'm announcing right now, it will probably go up at around about the same time, but you'll see it if you see this. I am replaying the original Chrono Trigger on SNES on my emulator because I just realized it was going to take me way too long to try to get through the game, get back to where I needed to be, and then beat the game and do all that kind of stuff again. So I just figured, screw it. I'm going to replay the game. So stay tuned for that as well. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of this Thrift Store Finds series. Let me know if you're excited as I am about some of these unboxings coming soon. And let me know if you'd like me to set up a camera and play a single-player version of the Electronic Galactic Battle game. Let me know, because I would totally do that. It's been a lot of fun to pick up a lot of these old games and be able to display them and kind of talk about them a little bit on this channel. So let me know if that's something that you like. And also, my girlfriend and I have a brand new channel coming up, and hopefully we will be launching it either this week or next week. It is called Sasquatch and Sunflower. I'm Sasquatch, she's Sunflower, And so we're going to have some exciting videos up there. We've been working on some projects together. So I can't wait to see you over on Sunflower, Sunflower and Sasquatch's channel. A link will be in the description as soon as it goes up. I will start putting some of those into my Russ Plays Games videos. And I will probably kind of hype it up a little bit. I will probably have like a little launch video that I will do here just to kind of talk about it, kind of share some of the things, some of the experiences that my girlfriend and I have had together. And hopefully, if everything goes well, I will be moving down to Kansas to join Sunflower. And we will be doing a lot more videos together instead of her being in Kansas, me being in Washington. Hence the reason for Sasquatch and Sunflower, because Sasquatches are known to be frequently seen in Washington, and Sunflower is the state flower of Kansas. So anyway, keep it locked here at Russ Plays Games and Russ's Movie Corner for all your entertainment needs. I will be doing the James Bond retrospective here pretty soon. I'm going to have an introduction video where I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about the Bond series. What was the genesis? What were some of the different things that were coming out at the time? What were some of the different challenges faced by some of the different people? I'm going to explain all of the different actors that are in it, and then I will actually go into it proper, probably next week as of filming this. I'm probably just I'm gonna go through. I already have kind of a division down of how I want to break up the series. So keep it locked, and we will see you. And as we say, we will see you on the next one.